Right now, if you drive through downtown Austin, or look at the skyline in Nashville, or even walk past the commercial districts in Raleigh-Durham, you are going to see just a ton of for-lease signs.
Yeah, everywhere.
Right, like you'll see these older office buildings that basically look like ghost towns. And if you're a construction business owner driving past those empty husks, I mean, the natural assumption is that commercial real estate is just completely dead.
Oh, absolutely. That's the narrative.
Exactly. You assume the era of the massive office build is over, just killed by remote work. And as a result, almost every mid to large contractor out there is currently looking in the complete opposite direction.
Yeah.
Like they are breathlessly chasing hyperscale data center projects, fighting over who gets to pour the concrete for the next server farm.
Which is, it is the ultimate market misdirection. Yeah. I mean, the entire industry is suffering from tunnel vision right now. Because while everyone is hyper-focused on those data centers, there's this sleeping giant that has quietly woken up right behind them. We are actually at the very beginning of a multi-billion-dollar commercial office construction comeback.
Wow. Okay, so the mission of this deep dive is to equip you, the listener, the business owner, making strategic decisions for your firm with the critical insights you need to capture a piece of this exploding market.
And, keeping your sanity while doing it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Because perhaps even more importantly, we're going to explore how you actually execute on these massive new contracts without your operations team getting completely crushed by the administrative weight of scaling up.
Right. The admin burden is real.
It's huge. But before we jump in, I just want to set the foundation for where this information is coming from. The insights driving our entire conversation today are drawn directly from Smart Business Automator's Market Intelligence Report. Okay, let's unpack this. Because the sheer volume of this rebound is incredibly hard to wrap your head around.
It really is.
We are not talking about like a couple of localized corporate campus renovations. We are talking about tidal waves of capital entering the pipeline.
Yeah, to truly grasp the scale, you really have to look at the global macro picture, because the total pipeline for commercial office construction is currently sitting at a staggering $782.2 billion.
Wait, let me stop you there. $782.2 billion.
With a B.
Yes.
That is insane.
It is, but the raw dollar amount isn't even the most vital detail for the contractors listening right now.
Mm-hmm.
The critical metric is actually where that money is in its life cycle. Currently, 75.4% of that $782.2 billion pipeline is in the pre-execution phase.
Which means the cement hasn't been poured.
Exactly.
The money hasn't been spent yet. It's just capital sitting in escrow waiting to be deployed.
Right.
The architectural designs are being finalized, municipal permits are being pulled, and I guess most importantly, the bids are going out to general contractors right now. And that is the key takeaway. Like, look at the immediate spending trajectory. We're watching annual spending jump from $103 billion to $137 billion. That is a 33% growth rate.
Wow.
Yeah. And with projections pushing up to $150 billion shortly after that. But let's just isolate the projection for the year 2026, which is pegged at $136.9 billion in actual spending.
Okay.
And if you know anything about the construction life cycle, you know that to hit $136.9 billion execution spend in 2026, those lucrative contracts aren't being awarded in 2026. They are being awarded today.
Right, today. And it's a broad, sweeping geographical rebound, too. It's not just isolated to one mega city. Western Europe is capturing 22.9% of that pipeline. Northeast Asia is right behind at 22%, and North America is commanding 21.3%.
It's global.
Yeah, it's happening across major global economic hubs, basically simultaneously. But I have to play devil's advocate here for a second, because this brings up a massive contradiction.
Okay, lay it on me.
I know what you are thinking as you listen to this. It's like looking at a dormant volcano that everyone assumed was completely extinct, and suddenly it's erupting out of nowhere. Wait. With everyone seemingly working from home or hybrid, why on earth is office construction booming at this scale?
Yeah, it totally feels like a paradox, doesn't it?
It really does.
I mean, the workforce demands flexibility, yet billions are being poured into office space. But the answer lies in the aggressive return to office, or RTO, mandates being handed down by major corporate players.
Oh, right.
And we aren't talking about like a small regional accounting firm asking its team to come in on Tuesdays for a staff meeting. We are talking about the corporate monoliths that dictate the rhythm of the global economy.
You mean the heavy hitters, like
Right.
Apple,
Yeah.
Meta, Amazon.
Exactly. And throw JP Morgan into that mix as well.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, they are explicitly mandating 5 days a week in the office for many of their teams. And when behemoths of that size make a structural move, their entire ecosystem, their supply chains, their vendor partners, their legal teams, and their direct competitors, they all fall into line.
They basically have to.
Right, they have to. But the executives at these companies aren't foolish. They know they cannot mandate their top-tier engineering or finance talent back into the same depressing, fluorescent-lit, drop-ceiling cubicle farms from 2019.
No, of course not. If you force a highly sought-after software developer back into a mediocre, gray environment, they will just quit. They'll just go to a competitor who offers a better quality of life.
Which introduces the core driver of this entire construction boom. It's the flight to quality.
The flight to quality, got it.
Yeah. Corporate America has a really aging commercial building stock right now. Executives are abandoning older, outdated buildings at record speed, and they're clamoring for top-tier, ultra-premium spaces to lure their workforces back.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
And if we look at Smart Business Automator's market intelligence report, the stark contrast in vacancy rates illustrates this perfectly. Class A building vacancy is currently sitting at a very tight 12%. Meanwhile, older Class B and Class C buildings are suffering with vacancy rates of 20% or much, much higher.
Okay, let's define that for a second, because that spread is the entire story here. A 12% vacancy rate in commercial real estate essentially means the building is fully occupied, right? Once you factor in normal tenant turnover and the spaces being prepped for new leases.
Yeah, effectively full.
The premium space is completely spoken for. But what actually separates a Class A building from a Class B building in this new post-pandemic landscape?
Well, it really comes down to amenities, environmental control, and human wellness. A Class A building today features smart climate control with hospital-grade air filtration.
Hospital grade.
Yeah. It has natural light penetrating deep into the floor plate, outdoor wellness terraces, biometric security, integrated fitness centers. A Class B building is, the 1980s mid-rise with a dated lobby, inefficient HVAC systems that cost absolute fortune to run, and very little natural light.
So tenants are just fleeing Class B to get into Class A.
Exactly.
And institutional capital is following that migration. Like, if you want concrete financial proof of this confidence, look at Bank of America.
Oh, totally.
They recently made a massive $1.6 billion commitment to U.S. office development through 2028. And you do not deploy $1.6 billion into a dead asset class.
Yeah, you definitely don't. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, companies aren't looking for more square footage. They are desperate for better square footage.
Right.
And creating that highly specialized premium space requires massive, immediate construction investment.
Which completely flips the traditional development model on its head. It used to be that a developer would secure financing, build a shiny new glass tower on speculation, and just assume the tenants would sign leases once the lobby was finished.
The old build it and they will come approach.
Right. But that speculative build it and they will come model is entirely dead now. Now, pre-lease construction is the standard. Anchor tenants hold so much leverage that they are demanding to sign leases and dictate the design before the shovels even hit the dirt.
Yep. They want to control the space from the foundation up because the standards they are legally required to meet have fundamentally changed. Modern benchmarks like LEED certification for environmental sustainability or WELL certification for human health and air quality.
Oh yeah, those are huge now.
Right. And strict net zero energy targets. Those are no longer just optional nice-to-haves that a developer puts on a glossy marketing brochure. They are hard-coded into the core lease requirements of every new project.
Basically, if a contractor can't build to a net zero spec, they don't even get invited to the bidding table. But here's where it gets really interesting. As a mid to large general contractor, you do not need to reinvent your entire firm's identity to win these bids.
No, not at all.
Think about the contrast with data centers. Everyone is panicking, trying to figure out how to build hyperscale data centers, which require incredibly niche knowledge like massive industrial cooling loops, hyper-specialized power grid integrations, and extreme security protocols.
It's a whole different world.
Yeah. Office construction, by comparison, represents a much lower barrier to entry. It utilizes standard trades, familiar supply chains, and features a massive skill overlap with what your project managers and superintendents are already doing every single day.
And that is a vital strategic advantage. The specific opportunities right now are incredibly ripe. First, we are seeing a massive surge in tenant improvement, or TI, and fit-out work.
Okay.
Because when these corporations take over a new Class A space, they need a complete interior overhaul to meet those new health and wellness standards. It's high-margin, fast-paced interior work.
And what happens to all those Class B buildings bleeding cash with 20% vacancy rates?
Well, that is the second massive opportunity. Class B to Class A retrofits.
Gutting them.
Yes, landlords of these older buildings are facing an existential threat. To survive and attract tenants, they have to gut their properties. They are hiring contractors to upgrade the exterior facades, replace the entire mechanical and HVAC infrastructure, and build out high-end amenities.
Wow.
Furthermore, we are seeing a huge rise in lab office hybrids, especially driven by the life sciences sector, and mixed-use spaces that seamlessly blend retail, dining, and corporate environments.
And we know exactly where this money is flowing. The geographic hotspots in the U.S. have shifted. It's no longer just a story about New York high-rises or San Francisco tech campuses.
Not anymore.
The real action, the heavy bidding, is happening in cities absorbing massive corporate relocations and population shifts, like Nashville, Austin, Raleigh-Durham, Miami, and Phoenix.
Yeah, those cities are the absolute epicenters of this $136.9 billion spend. But, recognizing this macro opportunity and actually having the operational capacity to capitalize on it are two very different things.
Exactly. So what does this all mean for you, the business owner? Let's ground this in reality for a minute. Let's say you take this market intelligence. You bid on a massive $50 million Class B to Class A retrofit in downtown Austin, and you win it.
A huge win.
It's a huge victory for your firm. But now, the real friction begins. How do your project managers handle that sudden, massive influx of volume without drowning in administrative hell? Because on an LEED-certified or well-certified building, the sheer volume of documentation, submittals, and material tracking is just staggering.
It's a nightmare, honestly.
Right. The healthy margin you celebrated on bid day will completely evaporate if your operations team is bogged down in the job trailer, fighting with paperwork instead of managing the build.
And it is the classic scaling trap that destroys mid-sized construction firms. You successfully grow your top-line revenue by winning big bids, but the internal operational friction destroys your bottom line.
Margins just fade away.
Yeah, project managers burn out, critical details get missed, and schedules slip. This is precisely where construction firms must adopt advanced technological infrastructure to survive. Specifically, AI-powered platforms designed for the nuances of construction management.
Like what?
Well, Smart Business Automator, for example. It's engineered specifically to help construction companies scale seamlessly through this exact type of high-volume growth.
Okay, I want to push back on that a bit, though, because when contractors hear the phrase AI platform, they usually roll their eyes.
Oh, I know. I've seen it.
Yeah, they picture another clunky software suite that their field superintendents will absolutely refuse to use, or some generic chatbot that doesn't understand the difference between a load-bearing steel beam and drywall. How does a tool like this actually solve the real-world Friday afternoon headaches on a muddy job site?
It solves them by attacking the data silos and the manual administrative bottlenecks that eat up like 40% of a project manager's week.
40%.
Easily. Let's look at the chaos of project documentation. On a massive fit-out, you have thousands of photos, revised plans, environmental permits, material safety data sheets.
Oh yeah, it's endless.
Traditionally, a PM spends hours dragging and dropping these into nested folder structures. But with smart document organization, the AI automatically tags, sorts, and categorizes every single file as it comes in based on its actual content.
So the days of a superintendent frantically calling the office asking someone to find the revised HVAC blueprint from 3 weeks ago are basically over.
Entirely. Because the platform uses natural language smart search, your teams out in the field don't have to remember specific file names or complex folder paths anymore. They can literally type or speak into their device, show me the latest approved submittals for the second floor ductwork, and the AI retrieves it instantly.
That's incredible.
It is. But the true game changer from a pure timeline perspective is the RFI assistance.
Oh, let's talk about RFIs, or requests for information, because they are the absolute bane of any commercial project's existence.
The worst.
An RFI usually means work stops entirely. A subcontractor finds a discrepancy in the blueprint, they submit an RFI to the general contractor, who sends it to the architect, who sends it to the engineer. It can take 2 weeks to get an answer on moving a single pipe.
And every day of delay costs thousands of dollars.
Right.
The AI platform fundamentally changes this workflow. It generates draft RFI responses instantly by analyzing the project's historical data, the existing spec book, and similar resolved issues from past projects.
Hold on, though. AI hallucinates. We've all seen language models just invent facts out of thin air. If an AI hallucinates an answer about structural steel tolerances and a human just rubber stamps it, the liability is astronomical.
Oh, absolutely. And that is a crucial distinction here. The AI is not operating on the open internet. It is a closed-loop system grounded strictly in your specific project documentation and blueprints.
Oh, okay. That makes a big difference.
And it doesn't approve the RFI. It drafts the response and cites the exact page of the blueprint it pulled the answer from.
So it shows its work.
Exactly. The human project manager reviews the draft, clicks the cited link to verify the drawing, and then hits approve. It turns a 3-hour research task into a 3-minute verification task.
Wow.
The human remains fully in control of the liability, but the administrative burden is just erased.
That definitely keeps the field moving. And, speaking of the field, consider the daily friction of reporting. Superintendent daily logs and weekly meeting minutes are notoriously tedious.
Nobody likes doing them.
No. Usually you have a superintendent covered in dust at the end of a 10-hour shift, pecking away at an iPad to summarize the day. But the daily login meeting summaries feature takes unstructured field notes, voice memos, or raw meeting transcripts and automatically distills them into clear takeaways and assignable action items.
Yes, and furthermore, automated report generation takes all that real-time data and formats it for different audiences.
Oh, nice.
You don't have to chase down 5 different project managers on a Friday afternoon to build a slide deck for Monday's executive meeting. The operational, financial, and executive reports are generated automatically, consistently, and accurately.
That's great for internal communication, but the real money on these Class A retrofits is saved or lost in risk and budget management. Because on a complex net zero build, a small delay in securing a specialized piece of mechanical equipment can cascade into a massive financial hit.
Which is exactly why schedule risk detection is so critical. The AI continuously analyzes project activity against the master schedule to spot bottlenecks early.
Catching things before they derail the job.
Right. It identifies when a critical path item, meaning a task that will delay the entire project completion date if it slips by even 1 day, is falling behind. And it does this often before the human superintendent even realizes the domino effect has started.
And tracking the financial impact of those slips is handled by budget and variance insights. It tracks cost movements and labor hours in real time. But let's layer on the reality of client behavior here. Because on a high-end corporate build, the anchor tenant is always going to ask for a design change midway through.
Always. Every single time.
Yeah. They suddenly want a different finish in the lobby or an extra conference room.
Right. And the change order impact analysis feature is built exactly for that moment. Instead of a PM spending 3 days calculating the ripple effects, the system instantly evaluates how that specific change order will impact both the master timeline and the overall budget.
Which lets you actually answer the client.
Exactly. Right. It allows the contractor to respond to the client strategically with hard data, rather than reacting defensively.
I want to dig into the advanced intelligence features too, specifically document intelligence and compliance checking. Because on these highly regulated builds, missing a single specification in the architectural drawings can mean ripping out tens of thousands of dollars in installed material.
Oh, that's the worst case scenario. But the AI actually extracts details from the complex architectural drawings and cross-references them against the massive text-heavy specification manuals.
Wow.
Yeah, it acts as an incredibly meticulous quality control assistant, catching expensive gaps or contradictions between the drawings and the specs long before the materials are even ordered. It basically functions as an AI project assistant that retains perfect memory of every single detail across all your active jobs.
But a major concern for any operations director listening to this is integration. Construction firms already have accounting software, ERP systems, existing tech stacks.
Yeah.
They do not want to create a new isolated data silo.
And they absolutely shouldn't. That is why the platform utilizes custom AI workflows along with deep API and system integrations. It plugs directly into the financial and operational software you are already using.
Okay, so it connects everything.
Right. It acts as the intelligent connective tissue between your siloed data.
It essentially becomes the central nervous system for the entire company.
Exactly. What's fascinating here is that the true value of adopting this level of technological infrastructure isn't just about saving a project manager 2 hours on a Tuesday.
Sure.
It is about providing executive leadership with absolute unclouded visibility into the health and margins of every project in their portfolio. At the operational level, it allows your existing team of project managers to handle significantly more jobs and more complex jobs simultaneously without burning out. That is the true definition of scaling a business.
It really is the difference between riding the massive wave of this construction boom and being pulled under by it. You can possess all the market intelligence in the world. You can know exactly where the capital's flowing from Austin to Raleigh-Durham. You can win the biggest bids in your region.
Yeah.
But if your internal operations cannot handle the sheer administrative load, that historic opportunity will just pass you by. Or worse, it'll bankrupt you through margin fade.
Which kind of brings us back to the broader landscape of this commercial real estate evolution. We have talked extensively today about the capital flowing into Class A buildings, the massive retrofits, and the corporate flight to quality.
Right.
But looking at the macro picture, this shift creates a lingering, massive question for the future of our urban centers.
The dark side of the moon for real estate.
Yeah, this raises a really important question. With all of this focus and capital dedicated to premium spaces, what is the ultimate fate of those dying, heavily vacant Class C office buildings?
The ones left behind.
Exactly. They are sitting in prime downtown locations with 20, 25, sometimes 30% vacancy. Their floor plates, their low ceilings, and their central plumbing cores make them completely obsolete for modern corporate needs.
Because you can't just slap a fresh coat of paint on a 1970s mid-rise and call it a wellness center.
Exactly. So will the obsolescence of these millions of square feet trigger an entirely different construction boom? Are we looking at a near future defined by massive residential conversions where these concrete husks are painstakingly gutted and transformed into downtown apartment complexes?
Oh, that would be massive.
It would. Or, because the plumbing and HVAC conversions are so incredibly difficult, will it be a massive wave of total demolitions, clearing city blocks for something entirely new? Either way, the death of the Class C office building is going to create yet another massive, multi-billion-dollar pipeline for the construction industry.
It brings us right back to that dormant volcano analogy. Like, we're watching the eruption of Class A construction right now, but the seismic shift happening underneath those Class C buildings is really just getting started.
It's an absolutely fascinating time to be in the construction industry.
It really is. If you have the operational capacity and the technological infrastructure to handle the volume, the opportunities are quite literally endless. Well, that wraps up our exploration of the commercial construction rebound and how to scale your operations to meet it. If you want to make sure you never miss a strategic insight that could impact your firm's bottom line, please subscribe to the show on your preferred podcast platform. Take just a second to rate and review us. It genuinely helps us reach more construction business owners and leaders just like you.
Yes, please do.
And please do not keep this intelligence a secret. Share this deep dive with your colleagues, your operations directors, your project managers, or anyone on your team who would really benefit from understanding exactly where this market is heading.
It's too important to keep to yourself.
Absolutely. Finally, to gain your own operational edge and get the specific tools your team needs to scale your business without the administrative headaches, visit smartbusinessautomator.com. Stay sharp, protect those margins, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.